All right. So today we're going to utilize our prior knowledge of the fundamentals of poetry in order to analyze poems by famous poets. We're going to do one per day. We're going to do one today, tomorrow, and Thursday. You guys are off on Friday. It's not a virtual day. It's not anything like that. It's legit. You guys are off. Yay. Wednesday, you are going to have a project that I'll go over tomorrow because I will be training and I will be not here. Okay. So today we're going to go over a poem by Rudyard Kipling. It's a famous poem. I also want to talk to you guys about this unit. So this is unit 5, which is messages across genres. I don't know if you know, but I did send out an email yesterday to your parents talking about how starting next week, we're going to be getting into World War II and the Holocaust. So there will be some intense subjects, intense images you might see. And if you guys have any problems, you need to let me know, okay? But the overall theme of the unit is grit and perseverance, as you're going to see. And so there's going to be some stories that might be a little extreme. But again, I think you guys are mature enough to handle it and it'll be fine, okay? So has anybody ever heard of Kipling? You've heard of Kipling?
I heard the name, but I never.
Yeah, somebody said that it was the name of a lizard in some Disney thing.
Oh, Mr. Kipling.
Yeah, okay. That is not, this is not who it's about. Okay, so it's not that. So this is his story, If. Okay, so I have provided 2 different readings for you. I'm going to have this reading done. I want you to listen to it, listen to the rhyme scheme, the way the words work together, and then also start thinking about what is the overall meaning of it, okay? And then we're going to work together to take it apart. So everybody ready?
No.
Yes. Okay.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor look too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those 2 imposters just the same, if you can hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life for broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at the beginning, and never breathe a word at your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are done, and so hold on when there is nothing in you, except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 40 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Okay. So,
Yes, honey.
I like it.
all right. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and analyze this together. And then what I'm going to do is all the different interpretations that I've got through the day, I'm going to combine them into one and I'm going to include it in the lesson so that you'll have it. So the first thing is, what is the first thing you notice? What's repeated often? If, right? So there's definitely repetition, right?
Yes, honey.
Okay. And there's also a pattern. Do you see it?
Yes.
What's the pattern?
AABB. If you can.
Well, it's if, or, right? So there's definitely repetition. You know, Miss Garcia is a horrible speller, so we're just gonna put that. Okay,
You are not a horrible speller, girl.
so let's look at the first one. Let's find out the rhyme scheme. So it says you two, waiting, lies, hating, wise. So what would this one be?
A,
No, it's A, and then it's waiting, lies, hating, wise.
B, C, D, C, C.
Okay, master, aim, disaster, saying, spoken, fools, broken tools.
A,
A, B, A, B,
W, C,
C.
D, C, E.
Okay, winning toss, beginnings lost, sinew, gone, you, go on.
A,
B, C.
D, C, D.
Then you have virtue, touch, you, much, minute, run, it, sun. So A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. So there's definitely a pattern, right? So you do have an assignment after this. It's about 5 questions, and Miss Garcia forgot to actually include the type of poem that it is. So I'm gonna list them, and you tell me which ones you think it is. Okay, so you have an ode, you have a limerick, and on the actual assignment, just choose whichever one, and I'm gonna give you credit for it since I didn't include it. A sonnet, free verse, and then there is a lyric. Which one is it?
Lyric?
You think it's lyric?
Yeah.
You would be correct. It is lyric. Okay.
You
Yeah.
said balls being like.
Yeah, and it's repetitive, and so yeah. So it wouldn't be an ode because even though it is, he actually wrote it for his son before he died in the war.
Aw.
It's not a limerick because it's not making fun of anything, right? It's not a sonnet because it doesn't fit the parameters, right? It's not following the rhyme scheme. And then free verse, it does have some rhyme or reason to it, okay? All right, so now we have that.
What's an ode?
Huh?
An ode?
An ode, remember, it's like a poem to somebody.
Oh.
Like you're so fantastic and amazing, and the sun rises on you, blah, 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 right? Okay? All right, so now that we have that fundamentals, let's break it down. So what do you think it's about?
Him trying to keep up hope.
Keep a pope? Anybody else? Okay, well, let's find out. Okay, if you keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, what does that mean? What does keep your head mean?
To make sure it doesn't fall off.
Don't go crazy. Yeah, calm, stay calm. So
Alright,
stay
honey.
calm. So it's saying, if you can stay calm when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. So what is it saying?
So
It's saying stay calm when what?
people talk about you.
No, when everybody's going crazy, when there's chaos, right?
Oh.
When there's chaos, people try to look for somebody to blame, right? So if you can stay calm even when there's chaos going on and people are trying to blame it on you. So stay calm even when there's chaos, okay? If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. What is he saying? If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too.
It's basically telling him to forgive.
Believe in yourself. Because that people might be wrong, but this part, hold on, believe in yourself. So what's the second part?
Give money while they still there.
So, but no, make allowance. So this is not money allowance.
Oh.
This is to allow somebody for their doubting too. So believe in yourself, but still be open enough to accept criticism.
Yeah.
To better yourself, okay? So believe in yourself, but accept criticism. To better yourself. Okay? If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, but don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Okay, so the first part,
Let's talk about patience, right?
yeah, have patience, right? Because are things in life, do they always just come to you?
No.
No. So have patience. Okay?
People,
Or being lied about, but don't deal in lies.
it's like not telling lies, but people are lying about you.
Yeah, so even if you're being lied about, don't participate, right? So don't participate in the lies. Because we've all been lied about before, right?
Mhm.
So don't participate in lies. All right, or being hated, don't give way to hating.
People hate, if people hate you, still
get into it.
Yeah, so there's haters, right?
Yeah.
But just because you have haters, that doesn't mean you need to be a hater too, okay? So there are haters, there are haters, but don't be a hater, right?
Mhm.
Now here, and don't look too good nor talk too wise.
That just sounds like don't be a jerk.
Like, don't be a jerk, right? Don't try to be better than other people, right? Because have you ever met those type of people where it's like, oh, look at how fancy I talk or what I wear and dress, right? So you can still be smart and not look that way, right? So don't flaunt things,
Don't
right?
brag.
Yes.
Don't flaunt, don't brag. Okay? If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim.
Ooh,
What is that?
that's a bar. That is. Don't spend all your days daydreaming.
Okay.
Or try to make your dreams come true. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, so you can still have you ever met people who are so wrapped up in the dreams they have that they don't appreciate actually what they have right now? I didn't. I'm just looking at that direction.
You opinion?
But have you ever met those people
Yeah.
that they're so wrapped up in I'm gonna do this, and if I'm not happy unless I can have that, right? That they're missing everything that's going on. So he's saying it's okay to dream, but also be present, right?
Mhm. Be present
So
in the moment.
it's okay to dream, but be present and appreciate, right?
Mhm.
What is the second part? If you can think and not make thoughts your aim.
Because you gotta make what you want to come true. Just not think those thoughts. You gotta make it come true.
Okay, so make it come true. And just allow your mind to think. It doesn't always have to be on purpose. It doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be so serious, right? Okay? If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. So this is part of well, there's two questions in here that you'll have to answer, so pay close attention. First of all, he capitalized triumph and disaster. What is he indicating by capitalizing that?
Not just two separate things.
Well, they're two separate things.
And certificate.
They're significant, right? Definitely significant. What do we tend to capitalize?
Names.
Names.
That's what I said.
Okay, so what is he trying to say?
They're two different people.
They're people. He's trying to, and so we call that
Personification.
personification.
I do. I said it.
This personification. Okay. So this is one of the answers to your analysis quiz. Okay.
Yes.
So if you can meet with triumph and disaster, so he's acting like these are people, and then he calls them the two imposters. Why are they imposters?
Because they're not real.
They're not real. Why aren't they real?
Just because you do something good doesn't mean that's.
Do they represent real life?
Yes.
Absolute disaster? Does that represent your everyday life? No.
No.
Absolute success and triumph? That doesn't represent it either, right? And they're fleeting. Okay, so not real, and they don't represent real life. So don't take all your triumphs and be like, oh, I'm awesome, because that's not representative of real life. Or don't sit there and wallow in your disasters and be like, this is my life, right?
Mhm.
If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. So first of all, what do you think knaves is?
Knives.
No, it sounds like knives. They're people.
Hookers.
What kind of people are they? Look, let's listen. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves, liars. They're dishonest people.
People, you think
Dishonest people, okay?
She spelled it.
So, but I spelled, oh, I misspelled everything. You try to be up here and spell everything right, okay, anyways, I'll say, okay, so it says, so what is he saying here? If you can bear to hear the truth you spoke and twist it by knaves, which is dishonest people, to make a trap for fools.
Because some people are gonna believe the lies of the lies tell.
They get followers by twisting what you say.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever in your life taken something you said and twisted it? All the time, right? Yeah. So people are going to lie on you to get people on their side. People
That's what some people do.
lie to gain friends, right? Or alliances. Okay, so, and then it even says a trap for fools. So the people that believe these lies are foolish, right? So these alliances are fools. Okay. Then it says, or watch the thing you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Okay, so what is he saying there?
Watch as you got from the high places all the way down.
Do you have the agenda for Mr. Johnson?
I already took it, I put it in the system.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Are you gonna do that for the rest of the class?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
You get knocked down.
have you ever, yeah, if you get knocked down, what?
Get back up.
Get back up. Have you guys ever put a lot of effort into something like time,
Yeah.
just thought, everything, and then just to watch it crumble apart?
Yes, honey.
But he's saying that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But what you do is not only do you get back up, but you take what fell apart and you make it new. Okay? So you don't give up, right? Okay. And then when we say that, we tend to say that they have perseverance, right?
Yep.
Perseverance and also what we call grit, not giving up. Perseverance and grit are going to be the themes of this unit. So keep that in mind. All right. So far, what did we realize? What is he doing for his son?
He's trying to tell him not to give up, not to be the lies,
Yeah.
not to hate.
But he's also providing him a guide, right? If this happens, do this. If this happens, do this.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
So let's keep going. If you make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. What? First of all, do you guys know what pitch and toss is?
No. Yeah, baseball.
Nope.
No.
See, and I would have been surprised if you knew what it was because I didn't know what it was, but it is an answer to a question. So pitch and toss apparently is a gambling game. And what they would do is they would make a mark on the ground and they would toss coins, and whoever landed on the cross would pick up all the coins, throw them in the air, and any of the coins that landed with the heads up, they got to keep. So it's a game, a gambling game.
I played with my
We'll
siblings
see.
one time.
So what does he mean? If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss.
I don't know.
So-
How do you take up one heap of all your
Wait,
winnings?
can you say that again?
It's
It
a-
means like you take everything that you worked for and then you
But
put
you
it on
risk
the
it.
line and you take risks.
No.
Now, is he saying not to take a risk?
No.
No, he's actually saying it's okay to take a risk, right? So it's okay to take risks, right? So it's okay to take risks, but if that risk fails and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word of your loss. So if I take that risk and I fail, what should I do? Just move on, right? Continue on, start again. So start again. Why is it important that I not mention it?
Because you're just gonna keep thinking about it. You're gonna keep
You start
sitting
second
with
guessing
the bread.
You can start second guessing yourself, and who else can start second guessing?
Other people.
Other people, because aren't people quick to point out your mistakes?
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I mean, even I love my mom and all my family, but they'd be like, oh, remember that one time when you messed up? Yeah, I remember, right? But if I had just kept going, they wouldn't have known. So it's also so that you can keep going. And then also to make sure people don't try to stop you, right? Or put doubt in you. So you eliminate doubt this way. Don't doubt. Okay. It says, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. So what is that saying? I don't know about you, but this has been a rough year, yes? How many times have you felt like, man, I don't want to do this anymore? I'm out, I'm done, it's too much effort, whether it's in the sport, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's just trying to get through everything, right? This weekend, Ms. Garcia was like, I'm out, I'm not making any more lessons, I'm not doing nothing, I'm a horrible teacher, I'm a mom, I just want to just lay on my couch, right?
Right. I like
But it's saying, if you can force your heart and have the nerve and you can force your muscles to keep going, it'll get better, right?
motivation.
So yeah, except the will which says to them, hold on, it's gonna get better. So again, this goes back to perseverance and grit, right? How many of you, some of you are athletes in here, right? Have you ever pushed your body so far that it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah.
Right? But then you continue on, right? Every
morning.
day, every morning, right? We always get out of bed. So it's basically saying, even when you want to give up, hold on, right? It's gonna get better. Okay. All right. Then it says, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. What's that about?
Stay humble.
Stay humble, yes. How many times have you seen people who all of a sudden crowds love them and they change who they are, right?
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, stay humble and stay who you are, stay true, right?
Right, thank you.
Or if they get some sort of status, all of a sudden they forget all their true friends, right? They're like, oh, I'm better. It's saying, no, don't do this. Stay true to yourself, stay humble, okay?
Right.
If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. So why do you think this line's important? What is he telling his son? Who can hurt you?
Nobody.
Family can.
Foes? So he's saying if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you. So obviously, it's not just your foes you have to worry about, right? It's not just your enemies, it's also your friends. How many of you have ever been betrayed by a friend?
A lot.
Right? A lot of people, right? And that's almost worse than an enemy, right? Because you're like, wait a minute, I trusted you, right? So he's saying, steady yourself, strengthen yourself, and be true to yourself enough that neither your enemies nor the people you love can hurt you, okay? So just be prepared, because even the most trusted people can hurt you,
Thank you.
okay?
Even family is okay.
Yeah.
Right, even family can.
And then what about this one? It says, if all men count with you, but none too much.
Can't trust
I don't
nobody.
Okay, count with you is kind of like count on you,
Not even your teacher.
okay? Mhm. So if you have people, you want people to be able to rely on you, right?
But you don't wanna like get overwhelmed in their problems.
Don't get overwhelmed. So perfect example is Miss Garcia, right? We started the school year and they said, we're going virtual. They asked all the teachers, how many of you know Schoology? About 11 of us were like, yeah. So what happened is all of a sudden, everybody in the school was like, hey, Miss Garcia, hey, Miss Garcia. And that overwhelms you, right? So he's saying be reliable, but don't let people rely on you too much, okay? So be reliable, but not too much. Take time for yourself, right? Okay. Then it says, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So what does this part mean right here with the distance run? Why is that important? What is he saying?
He's talking about his life on earth.
Okay, so your time, right?
Yeah.
And have you ever been in something and you're like, oh my God, it's been like an hour and you look and it's only been like 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So it can be. But he's saying with the distance run, how do distance runners run?
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. they pace themselves. They're not like, oh, I'm gonna run really fast, and then they like die out, right? Yeah, so pace yourself for this life. Because there's gonna be moments where things go crazy and hectic and quick. Oh, go hectic and quick. And then there's gonna be moments where they're slower, right? So pace yourself for life. Is it just to be a man? Is all this advice only good for men?
No.
No, it's for people. Okay, so what is the tone? Remember, tone is how the author feels about it. Supportive. Supportive. A little wise, right? He seems a little wise, right? But what about the mood? What mood does it create for you?
Sad.
So for you, it might be sad.
Emotional.
Emotional?
Yes, that was.
Emotional? Yeah, engaging.
Can't say it.
Immersive, yeah.
Like relating, like.
Relatable.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Reflection.
Very reflective, right?
It's deep. It makes you think.
Yeah.
Mass,
Inspirational, right?
Massachusetts.
All right. So what are some of the guys? Hello. Shh. All right. All right. So what are some of the literary devices that are in here?
Repetition. Oh, sorry.
Definitely repetition. Yeah. What are some other ones?
You said personification.
Personification.
Oh yeah, metaphors.
There's definitely metaphors, right? Because it talks about life as a race, right? It even talks about there's also imagery, right? The pitch and toss. So there's also imagery and there's also illusions, right?
I was just. I was about to say, aren't there illusions?
Yeah, there's illusions. So the pitch and toss, things like that, right? Okay. So why do you think he's providing this to his son?
Because it's a bad put out there. He knows he's gonna die. Yeah, because he was in the war when he bought this, so he don't want his son to be out without no guidance.
Well, just also like it's a guidance, right? It's almost like a guide for life. If this happens, then do this. If this happens, do this. Remember to be who you are, right? Is that not the hope for every parent?
Yes.
Right? So you can also say the tone is hopeful, right? All right.
Did he
But it
die
is-
in the war?
Yes, his son did die in a war, yeah. So, but the overall thing is kind of like life is going to be crazy. You're going to come across obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. But even if you meet these obstacles, persevere. Okay, and that is going to be what we're going to be talking about for the next couple of weeks. Yes.
Was that hopeful for the poems he made before he went to war, or was that collective?
He wrote it before his son ever went to the war. So it was his hopes for his son.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it was very much his hope for his son. And there's nothing to say, and I kind of talked about this with the other class, that even though his son did die, that doesn't mean that his son did not meet this goal, right? He could have been living this out, right? And then he died. So he still could have reached that hope.
Yes.
Okay, so you do have a small 5-question quiz. We've talked about the answers, so I would actually go and do it now. For the question about what kind of poem is it, again, I forgot to put lyric, just choose one, and I'm gonna automatically give you the point, okay? So don't worry about that.
But we choose one.
You can just choose any of them,
Okay.
and I'll give you the, okay? So any questions about this?
Nope.
All right, so we're gonna be doing
ma'am.
something similar tomorrow. Then you're gonna have a mini project on Wednesday because I have training. And then on Thursday, we'll do the final poem. Then next week, we start talking about World War II and the Holocaust. I'm gonna give you background. We're gonna watch a documentary and we might start reading Night. Okay, that's the book we're gonna be reading. Any questions?
No.
All right, get to it.
No, I'm mad at you.
Okay.